Hello everyone, Upwell here. Now this is a weird start to a video of mine, I'll admit. I'm inside a car. Specifically my car, which I've only recently replaced the radiator on, so this is going to make the trip interesting. Basically, I'm driving up to a heritage railway site, which is 82 kilometers from where I live. Oh boy, that should be fun. And it's the first time I'm driving this car very long distance as well, so oh boy. But I'm making a good starting point for my journey, which is here. If the focus could ever play ball with me, which is here at my local model club. The chainmail fence doesn't help jack. Oh well. But yeah. So, I'm going to progressively film stuff along the journey, not while driving. No. That is naughty. That is against the law. I'm not going to film while driving. If I pull over, that's a different tale. So, yeah. We'll see how this goes. And hopefully we get to see ourselves a nice steam train, because, in all fairness, I haven't done anything like this in years. So, this should be good. This should be really good. I haven't done anything like this since 2018, 2019, so let's see how it goes. Okay, fair bit of the journey's done already. Made it to a town named Gore. Places I've passed along the way are Woodlands, Dacre, Edendale, and Matara. And a place called Bryden. Yeah, forgot about that. Matara's got an actual nice looking old railway station. It is really nice looking. And actually, funny enough, behind me, behind that car lot, is a railway station. It's just a platform, nothing silly. But, yeah. Oh, and this is my ride. 1990 Corolla. It's actually a cheap little bugger. It's only taking me about, I don't know, $50 to fill up the tank. And, this is a bad impression. To me, it's the cheapest car to run in the world. That's got to be the worst Jeremy Clarkson impression ever. Oh well, still a fair bit to go till I hit Mandeville, so here we go. Hey everybody, we're here at Mandeville now, and the reason I'm drove out here. Okay, before having a look at the train, I figured hop into the hangar and I mean, come on, jets. Who could say no? And that gypsy moth actually does play. Well, funny enough, the way these planes are laid out, it's a bit of a maze to walk through. But, I mean, we got some beautiful aircraft here. Oops. Nice old motor. I mean, fold-away wings. That's pretty dang cool for a start. Another beautiful... I think that's an engine. I don't know jack about aircraft, and oh shit, they got the boat shed up. Nice. Oh, that's a nice plane. Oh, that's pretty neat. I have no idea what the heck that is. Let's. Oh, the door's open on this one. We can have a looky. We cannot hop in. We cannot touch, but we can have a looky. Those are the rules of the hangar. God, vintage aircraft travel must have been interesting. I mean, yeah, and normally I do rail-based stuff, but hang on a second. This ain't metal. That's fabric. Wow. That is cool. Extra, post-haste. Oh, hokey ticker. I'll be danged. Jeez, that's a bit cramped in there. Hang on, this is a passenger compartment. Where the heck's the pilot at? So the pilot, so if there's a crash, the passengers have it before the pilot. Oh, that's handy. That's an interesting piece there. Wing construction and body construction in those days. I mean, times sure have changed a hell of a lot. I think that's a Cessna. I'm not too sure. I don't know jack about planes, so do not quote me in the comments. But this one, this is beautiful. big brute. Dude, I could ride a skateboard under this one. Big old headlight. Those motors are freaking huge. Actually, this one would look like a hell of a lot of fun to ride. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. And what do we have here? Dragonfly. That's pretty cool. That's a cool name. It's colourful, like when I say that. What do we have here? Glider. That's even cooler. Gullwing glider. And a nice couple miniature planes. I love that. Oof. That'd be an interesting ride. And of course, you got to have a jet plane. I mean, come on. This thing alone is pretty freaking mint. I mean, dude. Hello, Maverick. And what looks like a midget jet plane. What the? That is cool. Ooh, that's the Rogers K whistling. That's brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, that's a good bit of work. Hard to believe it was dug out of a riverbed. Beautifully restored. Wow. Oh, I see. The plan is to have a loop go around the airfield. That is very cool. And that's where we are. So yeah, loop around the airfield. Nice. Very cool. Now, I know we're here to see the Rogers K, but this actually is another old steam locomotive. A Dubs & Co. built A-class tank engine. This was built in Glasgow, Scotland. And it's awaiting restoration, along with a lot of things here. But I mean, yeah. I just wish the camera was playing ball with me today. Must be used to filming models, not the real thing. I'll get a good video for you, don't you worry, folks. Okay, with the Tiger Moth in the air, and after giving my phone's camera lens a clean, we can give you a better look at this A-class. This is the tail end of it, where the coupling would be. There's the coupling hooks. Your footplate, reversing lever, firebox, boiler, which is pretty much condemned. I'd say water tanks and cold bunker would be here. Yeah, bit of a mix on both, really. It's an interesting setup. I've never seen one of these in steam before, but I might cover that next year. But it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. Too bad it's in such a sorry state, though. I'll show you what a real one looks like later on, though, probably next year. And the focus has gone to crap on me again. Thank you. But down there is more vintage carriages and I think a steam crane, so that's pretty cool. Okay, Rogers K New Zealand. Rogers built New Zealand Railways K Class 92. One of, I think, 8K locomotives to come from America. This was built in New Jersey. It had a different boiler and firebox back then. It had a wagon top one. This is more of a bell pair. But what a beauty. Okay, sun's out. Beautiful day. Then I bought myself a railway cap. And I also gained permission to walk along the grounds, I guess the term would be, to have a look around, especially at the new boat shed they have partially constructed down the end. And I might have a look at where the turntable's going to go. I mean, ooh, what do we have here? Bit of old track and what looks like the funnel and smoke box door of the wee A-Class. Huh. And the bits and pieces. Now, I know the wee A belongs to a group in Dunedin, the Gasworks, I think. And we just... Very nice. And when it returns to Dunedin, it's only going to be cosmetically restored. The boiler's pretty beat up, I'll admit. But it is what it is. And in all fairness though, the Waimea Plains here, they're still in their early days. They're going to expand. I think I just found the water tower. But yeah, the Waimea Plains plan to expand their line. Better running. Better train rides. The price will go up a bit, but that can be expected. And we just found ourselves the turntable well. I mean, you can tell this is early days. They haven't filled in the dirt around it. They have not even done concrete around it. And the track, it is early days. It's more of a bridge than a turntable, I'll admit. But again, early days, and here we come to the boat shed. Now, this is important because they have only got this up recently, and they're using it to house their vintage rolling stock. And once the boat shed's proper complete, because there's a section like that on the other side there. Once that's complete, they hope to house the locomotive in it, just crossing the line carefully. And I have been given permission to have a look inside. I did ask the locomotive driver. He said, sure, go ahead. And we get to have a look at some very vintage... bloody pigeons. Some very vintage pigeons, oh gosh. Some very vintage rolling stock. I mean, this is before restoration work even starts on them, so... I mean, this... You don't really see rolling stock or locomotives or anything in a... more pigeons, in a state like this. Pigeon guano, yuck. But here we go. A nice vintage steam crane. I mean, it would be great to have this working. I mean, that way it would be really cool when they do track work. We have another vintage carriage that's technically awaiting restoration. That's beautiful. We got a couple of old vans here. We got a WB type here. It's actually in pretty good nick compared to the rest of the stock. Wow. And here's the New Zealand style sensor buffer coupling. It is a really good design. I mean, shoot, it lasted over 100 years, well over 100 years in this country, so. Now the hard bit is to try and get across this gooey muck. I might have to go around the wagons to do that. Hello, it's hunting season. Ah, a railway jack. That's quite cool. I mean, yeah. This is where they're now storing their rolling stock. It is brilliant. Oh, that's not coupled up. But I think this one's an old cattle wagon. That's quite cool. Ah, there's your loading door. That's very cool. And some simple van here. It would be stupid to walk between wagons. Any idiot knows that. And here we have another vintage carriage. This one is awaiting restoration. I mean, yeah, she's due up alright. But this is actually proper South Island green. In the North Island they're red, and the South Island they're meant to be green, I think. I could be wrong. Any New Zealand historian, please comment below. But this is actually on a flatbed. Well, two flatbeds really. It's not on its proper bogies. And I believe this is an old guards van. I don't know. I don't have a accurate list of the rolling stock here, but I mean, these are historical pieces of rolling stock. They're part of New Zealand history. And okay, I hope they get this running at least. A jigger. I mean, if they get this running, I'll be happy as heck, because these are actually quite fun to ride on. They're basically a railway go-kart. And here we have a coach in process. I mean, the framework is there. I mean, it is a lot of work, but when they get these carriages restored, it will form a full consist for the vintage locomotive. And it will look brilliant. I mean, you don't really see carriages in this state anymore. These are all vintage carriages, by the way. I mean, they were at least built as early as 1890 or 1900. I mean, that says a lot. And for them to survive into 2022, I'm just happy. Oh, this one's actually on its own bogies. Huh. Oh, that's good. It's actually on its own bogies. Now, I have been told by... Whoops, get between a couple of there. Good thing the brakes are on. I have been told by the driver, do not climb onto anything. And I said, yes, sir, I will not. But we have lamp brackets here for tail lamps. Gates open. That's a bit annoying, but we can get in good inside. I mean, this coach is actually pretty much the same as the one that's hooked onto the locomotive, but this is in a dilapidated state. And yeah, she's seen better days. Right, let's get outside the shed and have a proper look around. Okay, we got the tiger moth up there in the air. Oh, workman's hut, and actually what's left of the boat shed to put on, if I was told right. And we have here an old vintage signal. It's going to be for when the line's proper going, when they actually have a good size length as well as a running loop. We got wheel sets there for the carriages, and I think that's another crane. I'm not too sure. I'll have to ask about that one. But I'm keeping behind the wire. You can't see it, but there's a wire here. I'm keeping behind that, keeping out of trouble, which for me is the best idea. No way I'm riding that. No way. This is a little NZR workhorse. A TR class diesel shunter. Now, thing is, this railway, they only use this during the winter season. But here at the Waimea Plains, it's actually used to shunt the steam locomotive back in the shed at the end of the day. And it's actually in the old New Zealand Railway colours. I mean, it's clear they look after the steam locomotive better than the diesel here. Its number's faded, it's pretty worn torn. But, funny enough, when the steam engine's running, this is the buffer stop, because there's the end of the line. And the idea is to expand that way. To expand that way. That is the idea. That is the goal. Well, the first stage of expansion, anyhow. And it's just brilliant fun being here. Now, I'm being told to keep the F away or off the running line. Whoops, I better get moving. But yeah, we got heaps and pieces and that. A lot of track work. So they got those fish plates in that for when they put the points track in. We got rods and levers for the point work. I think when they get the point work all sorted out, it's going to be ground frame worked. But I mean, this is a brilliant example of a preservation railway in its early days. In a modern era too. I mean, oh, that's the boss's car, can't show that. But here we go, some more old timbers. I mean, a lot of this is vintage. Except the tool shed. But I mean, yeah, a lot of this work, it's old school. I mean, this is all point working for the signals and that. Old cylinders, old actually workshop equipment too. And we can see a tent there. That's where they kind of currently store the locomotive and carriage. But it's brilliant. It is brilliant. And we got a couple of workman wagons up here. Well, at least I hope they are. If they're not, well, my guesswork's horrible as heck. But yeah, these make it a lot easier to carry things like sleepers, rails and that. They're just workman dollies, if anything. Got a couple here and one more up there, upside down. And yeah, the elevated track there, that's for when rolling stock's going away or coming in via truck. And we have the sleepers here. Now, I learned the hard way how heavy these are. Because when I helped lay a section for when the loco was doing a 10-year service, got my finger jammed between two of them. Oh, crikey, I had one nasty black fingernail. And we have here vintage goods shed. Now that's actually on the site where the original was. This is a recreation. But that's the site where the original 1800s shed was. And as far as I'm aware, it's where they store their wood for the locomotive. Because actually, due to a member of theirs, they gain a good supply of wood for the locomotive. Which means they save money not buying coal, which is a growing issue in railways these days. And it means they have more money for expansion work with the track, with the buildings, with the rolling stock. And if anyone in the South Island of New Zealand is in Southland, please visit the Waimea Plains. Please donate as well. The funding helps so much. This is not something I was asked to put in. I mean, I am a true steam fan. It's why I bought the hat. It's why I bought a railway fob watch. Heck, I even bought a t-shirt. Not wearing it, but I bought a t-shirt that supports the railway. And please, this is just a brilliant place. Oh, there's a railway crossing. Oh yeah, one of the towns I passed on the way here, Edendale, they host a show called Crank Up. Vintage machinery, steam tractors, motor cars, muscle cars, rat rods, hot rods. I mean, it is brilliant fun. It is brilliant fun. I may cover that in another video, as well as the Kingston Flyer. I mean, that locomotive up that's behind the carriage, that is the original Kingston. The modern day Kingston Flyer is a pair of AB class steam locomotives. I will probably cover that in another video. Because I actually think these adventuring videos and the outdoor world might be brilliant. They show are good fun. Gives me a chance to drive my car. And yeah. Oh, and right behind me there, those are the rail sections that they're going to use for the expansion. I mean, they got a beefy forklift to move it. If they get the steam crane working and a couple of flatbeds, even better. But this place is still in its early stages. If donations are made to help out, they'll be extremely grateful. On the go again. They've been waiting a little while, so we've got them down 3 times. We've got the steam, we've got the water. Right. And this thing. It's great. Okay, it's God knows when past 5 in the afternoon. Put the engine to bed, and well, perks ahead knowing the railway crew, I get to help out after hours. But all I know is hope you enjoyed the video. This is Upwell signing off.